Just pull up that email. Cindy, you have your mic on before we start.
All right, very well. So it looks like the graphics are gone. We can go ahead and call the meeting to order. Monica, go ahead with your official time.
It's 7:03.
All right, very well. All right. Mr. Brown would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. I appreciate that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag
of
the
the United States of America and to the
to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
with liberty and justice for
justice
all.
for all. All right, very well. A short invocation. Father God, right now, we just want to pause and say again, thank you for just being God all by yourself. We just want to thank and ask you that you cleanse our minds, that we make the decisions here of the village of Woodlawn. Father God, right now, I just ask that you share a special touch on Charles Willis and his family right now. And again, those that are grieving here in the community of Woodlawn as they have lost a loved one. Father God, right now, I continue to ask that you wrap your hands around those that are suffering with COVID, those who have lost with COVID, but we know that in the end we'll win. So we just ask in these blessings, and that's in Jesus' name for its sake. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Poole,
Present.
Rosemary Brown,
Present.
Eric Burkhalter,
Present.
Esther Boyd,
Present.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Present.
Robert Lawson,
Present.
Kiana Trayville.
Present.
All right, good stuff, Egan. All right. So we want to read the reading and disposal of the previous minutes. The regular council meeting from March the 30th. Has everybody taken the opportunity to read those? Are there any corrections, additions, deletions to those minutes in front of us? Having none, I make a motion that we approve those meetings from the regular council meeting on March the 30th, 2021.
I'll second.
Very well. All right. There's all ayes.
Aye.
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 All right. In front of us,
Mayor,
approving the minutes from the special council meeting that was on March the 30th at 6 p.m. Are there any corrections, deletions, or additions to those minutes in front of us? Having done, I just need a motion to approve the minutes in front of us.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting of March the 30th. Did we actually make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting or
Yes,
just
we
second
did.
it?
We just, it was a regular and a special we had that same day.
The mayor made the motion and I seconded.
Oh,
So I
okay.
asked for a motion.
He
I
asked for a motion.
There should have been
Right.
a first other than the mayor. The mayor can't make the motion.
Correct.
Thank
I
you.
asked for a motion to approve those minutes from the special council meeting on March 30th.
Ms. Brown, you're talking about the regular,
I'm-
right?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the regular council meeting of March
Stop.
30th. And
Team, we've already approved the minutes from the count. Yes, we just did it. I did an all yay.
Hold on, let's ask the clerk who she has down for the motion on the regular.
Monica, did I not approve the minutes from the March 30th regular council meeting? Did we just approve those?
You're on mute, Monica.
what happened,
the
Mayor?
mayor moved.
Okay, so the mayor
But he can't
can.
make-
I made a motion. Okay, here we go. So we don't get into all of that, okay? For the lack of time, I need a motion to approve the regular council meeting and the special council meeting that took place on March the 30th.
I make that motion to approve the regular council meeting and the special council meeting of March 30th.
Is there a second to the motion?
2021.
This is Kiana. I'll second.
Thank you. All ayes?
Aye.
Well, thank you. All right. Appointments, confirmation, presentations, there are none. There is one comment from the public. Is Ms. Chandler on the line tonight?
She is, or she was.
All right.
Yeah, she is.
All
She's under
right.
Jeannie Stimson though.
Okay. Let's
He's
go.
ready.
Oh, there she is. So, Ms. Chandler,
Hello, Mayor and full council. How's everyone this evening?
doing well, doing well. So
Good.
Fine, thank you.
it's your time here in our agenda for you to do your presentation about your upcoming event.
Yes, thank you for allowing me just a few minutes of your time as well as the community's time to speak. So I am kicking off the Clean Walk project, which will kick off on next Saturday, May 8th at 8 o'clock. And what the Clean Walk project is gathering of residents to walk and clean the community. And the idea behind the walk is to become healthy within ourselves and have a healthy community in which we can thrive. If we're healthy and live in a healthy community, then studies have shown that we should thrive better in a clean community. So again, the kickoff will be Saturday, May 8th at 8 o'clock at Woodlawn Gazebo. I am asking that people pre-register either by calling me at 513-884-2589, or you can send me an email. My email address is cindor.chandler@gmail.com. Cindor, CYNDOR .Chandler, CHANDLER @gmail.com. Once you are registered, you'll be entered into a raffle that I've put together along with my partners. This project is being brought to the residents through a partnership with myself, the Village of Woodlawn, and Keep Cincinnati Beautiful. It was pitched to Mr. Thaman, the village manager, as well as the mayor, and they have blessed it off. And I've been working with some key stakeholders, staff personnel within the village to work out the logistics of marketing and the service department on picking up donated supplies from Keep Cincinnati Beautiful, wanting to keep the cost down at no or very minimal cost to the village. And again, this is just to beautify your the walk is to beautify your community as you're beautifying yourself. Are there any questions before I dive a little bit more into it?
So, Cindy, I know that you and I have kind of talked offline a whole lot about this. And we talked about what the goal is. Have you challenged the entire council to get involved with this, and perhaps on an individual, or perhaps trying to sending us a team to help us on that day?
So the communication has been presented to council as well as other residents and constituents in Woodlawn via a newsletter, in which some of the newsletters were mailed out and a team of us walked and delivered the newsletter. So yes, to your point, Mayor Poole, I would like to challenge council to come on board. If you physically can't do it, it would be nice if you can appoint someone that can represent you in your area or all over Woodlawn. So what I'm looking for now are community champions. So when we look at Woodlawn is broken up into probably about 4 quadrants. So we're looking for champions, and the kickoff on Saturday the 8th and Saturday the 15th will identify areas that need to be cleaned. An example, I live on Woodstock, and once I beautify my street, I may grab a neighbor and say, our street is pretty well kept. Let's adopt the park, because we know hopefully this pandemic will soon be behind us. The governor is lifting some restrictions, And we definitely want a safe and healthy environment for children to thrive in. So if your area is just not dictated to your street, when we look at Woodlawn, we're thinking of the business district, we're thinking of the open spaces, the bridge, the bike trail, everywhere. So walking, I do challenge everyone to get out and walk and be healthy. That's the first thing. Secondly, if you can, grab some tools from us on May 8th or May 15th. Garbage bags, gloves will be passed out, masks and hand sanitizers. And let's work collectively in keeping our community clean, because my vision is when we leave Glendale, come through Woodlawn and go through Wyoming, I don't want to see a difference. That's my personal opinion. As far as aesthetics are concerned, I'd like to just have a seamless flow of operations as people travel through Woodlawn, get a great experience, and want to come back and shop and play with us in our parks, at our swimming pool, buy a recreation membership. So if we put out a good product, hopefully we can attract good business.
Good. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Chandler and her efforts on Saturday, May 8th and the 15th?
Yes, I have questions.
Go ahead, Pam.
Thanks, Mayor. Okay, so what I understand, there's 2 walks. Is it 2 walks, the 8th and the 15th?
Yes.
And you will let us know where we will be walking, but whatever path we walk on, we're going to be cleaning?
So yes and no, Ms. Fitzgerald. The 8th and the 15th are the kickoff days, and I didn't make this clear, so forgive me. Those are the kickoff days where you can identify an area in which you want to clean or be assigned an area in which you want to clean. And from that point, from the 8th or the 15th, it's up to you. If you want to pick a Tuesday evening, that works better for you to get out and walk and clean, or if it's Saturday morning. So the goal on May 8th and the 15th is to identify champions, identify residents that will be committed to beautifying the village and yourself, and then basically you're on your own from there as far as determining what day time works best for you to get out and walk.
So the kickoff is a joint effort, but the cleaning could be a one person or whatever the group effort of how you put these teams together?
Exactly. And I would not put the teams together. That's what I'm looking for champions for. And an example, in your subdivision, it may be 5 people from your subdivision that already have a walking club. I don't know that. And so if you're part of that walking club, then I would challenge you to take this back to your walking group in your subdivision and say, hey, you know, this is what's going on in Woodlawn. Let's make our walk be more dedicated in walking and cleaning as part of the efforts to beautify Woodlawn.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Ms. Chandler? Ms. Chandler, I thank you so much again for just kind of shedding the light of that. Excited, and I think the closer we get to that, especially with the opening of the pool, I know Ms. Sherman will be excited to see, you know, some cleaning done around that pool area on the trail. So I'm excited and just trying to grab some additional folk on with that. So if anybody has any questions, I believe that we do have a contact for Ms. Chandler. Ms. Chandler, while we're on the line, can you share the public what number they should call to get in touch with you?
Sure. My cell phone number again is 513-884-2589. And I also want to make this clear, this is a volunteer effort. And again, I am partnering with the Village of Woodlawn as well as Keep Cincinnati Beautiful. So as far as staff jumping on board, I cannot dictate nor determine what the staff does, but Mr. Thaman, along with the mayor, have been gracious enough to disseminate information and point me in the right direction of some of the leaders in the community.
I have a second question, Mayor. So if this is a joint effort, how do we get the word out even more? Because if you're not watching, if you're not on tonight to watch the council meeting with the information, how do we get that information out since this is a joint effort with Village of Woodlawn?
And Mayor, can I answer that question?
Yes.
Please. So I sent a proposal to Mr. Thaman along with the mayor about a month ago, and Ms. Yehad is working on the marketing piece of it. It is on the website. It will be placed on the marquee board. There are flyers at the community center. I met with Ms. Sherman earlier today, and again, it's in the newsletter. So I ask you all, if you can, in your spare time, pick up the phone and maybe call a neighbor that calls another neighbor and let them know. We all know that communication can be a little challenging sometimes within the Village of Woodlawn. So I am asking that you all share the information as well.
Right. Very well.
Okay, thanks.
And I know for a fact it was in that newsletter, so that was a great avenue to put it in. But again, those are some of the avenues. So Pam's asking all those questions, Miss Cindy, because I believe she already has her team in place. I think that's what.
Well, I just want to understand it. I want to make sure that the residents are informed. I know that things go in a newsletter, but just like we continue to inform our residents, I think it's important because we are in a busy time.
Right.
So it sounds like a great project, but and we're in joint effort. So I just want to make sure that the public, knows and gets that information. So.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Again, thank you, Ms. Chandler, for your time tonight. I appreciate that. We appreciate
Thank you.
That.
Thank you all. And I look forward to seeing everybody out Saturday, May 8th at 8 o'clock. The kickoff will begin at 8 a.m. And will run until 10 a.m. At that time, you will register, be entered into a raffle to win a very nice basket, which will be a surprise. You have to come out and see what it is, and get your tools to be safe, and working with Mr. Brown on logistics of where the trash bags can be collected, because we don't want our residents hauling around trash. They'll be placed on a corner, and Mr. Brown and his team will make certain that those get disposed of properly.
All right. Again, thank you, Ms. Chandler. I appreciate that. Have a wonderful evening. We appreciate that again.
Mayor, can I mention something to Ms. Chandler? Is she still there?
Sure. If she, I think she's still on the line. Yes, go ahead, Ms. Boyd.
Hey, Cindy, you may want to, have you thought about getting in contact with Princeton City Schools? I think the children still need volunteer hours, especially at the high school for the state of Ohio. I'm not sure about this pandemic year, but that would be a great way to involve a lot of the children, because they can take letters from the village or you back to their school for credit.
And thank you. Yes, I have. I have been in contact with the principal, Ms. Don, at the high school level. So sent an email to her, but thank you as always.
All right. Again, thank you, Cindy. All right. Thanks so much. All right. Committee reports. Committee of the whole that met on March the 9th. Team, these were the minutes that were not in our packets. I'm going to go ahead and let Ms. Boyd move forward with for the 13th that we had that meeting on the 13th. I'll give us a brief overview. But if there are no questions, we will need to go ahead and approve those committee of the whole minutes that was from March the 9th. Did everybody, they were inside of our packets for our view. Did we all see those?
Mayor, we usually approve those at the next committee of the whole meeting.
What I'm saying, we're a month behind on the March 9th one.
That's fine.
I would,
Committee.
I would
Just
just,
a committee report.
yeah, I would
just a committee
recommend that you approve any ones that are behind at your next committee of the whole.
All right,
Just
Ms.
so
Boyd.
we maintain our normal practice.
Very well. Ms. Boyd?
Yes. Hello, Woodlawn and Counsel. We had a meeting, a committee of the whole meeting on April 13th, 2021 at 6:05 p.m. The members present were Mayor Poole, Rosemary Brown, myself, Esther Boyd, Pamela Fitzgerald, and Robert Lawson. Also, Tim Engel, Chief Tillman, Paula Sherman, and Anthony Brown were in attendance. Mayor Poole moved to excuse Ms. Trey Buse absent, and Ms. Brown seconded, all ayes, and Mr. Lawson moved to excuse Mr. Burkhalter's absence. Mrs. Fitzgerald seconded, and all ayes. Then we approve, we made a motion about approving those same minutes from March 9th, but as you heard, Council will take care of that, and Mayor will take care of that in the next meeting. We talked about Harmony Park. At that time, there was no decision made about plans that could be used or about any dates that we could have. It's still tentative, and we haven't gotten anything. Well, at that time, we hadn't gotten any dates of when we might be expecting our Harmony Park to be completed or started, but it is in the process. And the plan is to get community input. In economic development, we're working on meeting dates for the meeting with the Catalyst Group to facilitate next steps. And I think we may be speaking on that tonight. The village manager's job has been posted. There were questions regarding when and where it would be posted. And Mayor, if you answered that, which I think you did, you said is it now on the village website? You answered it, and I thought you had said that it was on the village website. Okay. Recreation Department, Ms. Sherman was talking, she had a wonderful event on Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before that, a summer opening of class demonstrations from 10 to 1, a great event. We had several events going on all in one, and we had a good turnout. She talked about summer camp, 15 children that were signed up at the time already to take up and we'll be able to take up to 40 children this year. Ms. Sherman, the director, is in the process of looking for 2 part-time workers. Well, that was what was discussed in the committee of the whole. I'm sure we move forward. There was a Bearcat basketball and tournament that we had the weekend of April 10th, and it was a success, and looking forward to future opportunities. We talked about our vaccine clinics through Hamilton County Public Health, and we talked about it taking place Monday, the following Monday, which I believe was the 12th at the Recreation Center, and it has been taking place, and I'm sure we'll speak about that tonight. Mr. Engel stated that the permits for the pool have been obtained and the pool is scheduled to open on time, which is Memorial Day weekend. And I think Mr. Engel said he would speak on that tonight too. We could get an update on that. We are expecting, and I'm not sure, but at the time we were expecting our new fire truck to come in. And Chief Tillman told us that the police vehicles were being outfitted and will be in service by May. There's been joint training going on with the fire department and to practice emergency extractions. And reported that there was an in-house training for HB1 that speaks to the handcuffing of pregnant women and children, and that came from Chief Tillman. Chief Tillman also spoke about a collaboration that he has with, I'm sorry, with an in-house training for speaking about the pregnant and pregnant women and children. Chief Tillman spoke about us having more applicants for police officers. Mrs. Fitzgerald explained or talked about the speed sign that was on the street of Timberland Trail, and it had broken and it needed to be repaired. And there was a discussion about getting that repaired. And there was a short discussion regarding the traffic backing up at Springfield Pike at the Dairy Queen. And it is causing a safety issue, which it was said that that would be looked into. Mr. Brown talked about engineer estimates for the construction cost of Ronnie Road, Tanger Lane, Woodstock Drive, and Redmond Terrace. And he explained the process and how that goes. There was questions about completing the rest of Chester Road, and he stated that we already have an estimate for that road. Mr. Ingo stated that we applied for grant funding for Retina Terrace and were told to, and we were denied, but we were told to reapply in 2022. Ms. Boyd, myself asked, is there a backup plan if we were to be denied on that again? And Mr. Engel, I believe, has something in mind. Ms. Brown stated that, or Mr. Brown, I'm sorry, stated that he suggested moving to asphalt instead of concrete, which would cut down on the price, and possibly applying for a loan for road repair. And Ms. Fitzgerald had a question about how many times can you be denied for a grant. And Mr. Brown stated that at least 3 times. Ms. Chandler, Cindy Chandler, just, we talked about the spring cleanup this Saturday or April 17th and next May 24th. That's what we talked about in our meeting on April 13th. Mr. Brown explained, oh, excuse me, not Ms. Chandler, I take that back, excuse me, people. That was Mr. Brown, who we had the spring cleanup on April 17th where the trucks came around. He explained how the residents should go about setting out their items for pickup. And Ms. Boyd, myself, I asked about how we can include our apartment complexes for pickup. And Mr. Brown was going to come up with a way that we can get that done. He did say that they could bring it to the Public Works Department, but in the future, I think we'll try to set up something we can get done. Mr. Brown asked about the Beautification Committee, and he was asked to call the mayor, okay? And in new business, we talked about the tree board award that was given to us, 10-year for the 10-year award that we received. And Ms. Yahad thanked all of those who assisted her with completing a very detailed newsletter with all pertinent information about the village. Mr. Engel received thanks for all his work getting the village finances in order, and he gave thanks to Ashley Madden and Monica Yahi for all the work done behind the scenes that make the village run so smoothly. And we want to give a shout out to all of them. We did in that meeting. And council was pleased with the code red information that has been going around. We adjourned at 7:35. Anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Did, under the village manager job posting, did I hear you say that the job was posted?
Yes.
I'm not
Ms.
seeing.
Boyd, I need to make sure, I know it's not on our website, but I do need to make sure that it is where it is supposed to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I was gonna clarify that, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, no worries.
Well, Woodlawn thanks you.
No worries, no worries. All right, any other questions for Ms. Boyd? And I believe Ms. Boyd was referring to when she was talking about the 2 Saturdays. I believe that was talking about the cleanup. Is that correct, Ms. Boyd? Just to
Yes,
clarify.
I made an error and
No,
yes, I tried to correct it. Yes, I was.
no
trying to
worries.
Mr.
No
Brown's
worries. That's what she was referring
village
to.
cleanup. Okay.
So I want to thank Ms. Boyd for that. Having no other
Excuse me, Mayor, Ms. Boyd.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Yes,
Brown.
ma'am.
One change on there. It states that the spring cleanup is Saturday, April 17th, and the next one will be Saturday, May the 24th. That should be April the 24th, which was this past. I don't want the residents to think we're coming around again, May the 24th.
Okay.
Well, some of them do, Mr. Brown. It depends where you're at. I'm just saying now. Yeah, I'm glad we're clarifying that. That is correct. That was April 17th and the 24th. That's correct.
Sorry about that. I did that.
No worries. Simple typo. It's no worries. All right. Finance Committee, Ms. Trabue.
Sure. So the Finance Committee met. There are minutes from the March meeting as well. Would you like me to give a summary of the March meeting as well, or just the April meeting?
Those March 22nd minutes, were those the ones that were not in that packet, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, just can you do a brief summary on the both of those?
Sure.
Okay.
And actually, I don't think I see the ones from April in here, but
I have April.
perhaps I'm missing it.
Yeah, it's in there.
They're included.
They are. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I will find them.
Okay.
All right, so the Finance Committee met on March 22nd at 7 p.m. Committee members include myself, Pamela Fitzgerald, and Mr. Lawson. We also had other members of council there and representatives from village administration. We received the income tax update. Total collected for February of 2021, $604,739.37. As a reminder, the taxes are currently being collected and administered by Rita. So this is information that we are getting from them. Of that total amount, a little over $2,400 was deposited in the village treasury in February, and then the remaining 602 and some change was deposited in the month of March. We actually also got some information about the road tax. Annually, we looked at numbers from 2019, 2020, and then 2021. The total for 2021 at the time of the meeting was $125,086.84. A total of $30,686.75 was dispersed at the time of the meeting, and the fund balance total was $788,167.93. For January tax collections, it did appear to be low, but the majority of those deficits were made up in February. We also had a number of reports from our finance director, appropriations and revenue reports, receipts and expense reports, also some information around general fund balances, bank reconciliations. And then also he gave some figures around overtime, as well as a salary expense report. One thing to note around the salary expense report was the village has spent over $167,000 less in salaries in 2021 compared to 2022, with the police and fire departments making up 44% and 29% of those savings respectively. For the month of February, the cost of overtime was up for the year, but salary expense was down. Some of that can be attributed to a reduction in staffing, but then also through a review of some 2020 activity, the village paid some pensions amounts related to December 2019 and early 2020. So that is why we're seeing some of those numbers. Also report around negative fund balances. The village has eliminated a total of $310,000 in negative fund balances since May of 2020. We also reviewed recreation income versus receipts. There was also some discussion around the American Rescue Act plan. The Village of Woodlawn is set to receive $670,000. Our finance director was not clear on any allowable costs or restrictions associated with that money at the time, but will update us when he has that information. We also talked about the pool levy, which is set to expire at the end of 2022. So we're trying to be proactive about what we want to do with that. And he presented us with some options to consider. We'll discuss that at a later date. Also shared with us a couple of legislation over $10,000, which we took care of at the March meeting. Any questions on the March Finance Committee meeting before we move on to April?
Kiana, just one correction. When you just talked about the salary expense report, you said you spent $167,355.58 less in the salaries, and you mentioned 2022. I think you meant 2021 over 2020.
Oh, I thought that's what I said. Okay. Yeah, so that was
just so it's clear, so they didn't. No one thinks that you're looking at the looking ahead. Right. So just a correction.
That's correct. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on the March Finance Committee meeting before we move on to April? All right. Finance Committee met April 19th of 2021, 7 p.m. Again, the committee members that were in attendance included myself, Pamela Fitzgerald, and Robert Lawson. We also had the mayor and members of council that attended, as well as our finance director. Very similar information in April than what we shared in March. We had an income tax update. The total collected for March was $506,284.38. A little over $5,000 was deposited into the village treasury in March, and then the remaining was deposited in April. For the road tax, the total was $191,123.93. And the fund balance total at the time of that meeting was $854,023.02. Village continued to make up for January deficit with tax revenues being about 1% under what we saw last year. If the village continues its current collections each month, the village should see an increase in tax revenues by the end of the year. The tax and finance departments will continue to monitor tax collections as the year progresses. With the finance director's report, we reviewed our standard reports, including appropriations and revenues. As of the end of March, we collected 16% of budgeted revenues and expended 16% of appropriations. We also looked at receipts and expenses, talked about the general fund. We've dispersed about 21% of budgeted expenditures, which is reasonable given that the village is past the first quarter of the year. We looked at fund balance reports, the bank reconciliation, overtime reports, as we do every month as well. The salary expense report, as I mentioned last month, we are still spending less in salaries in 2021 than what we saw in 2020, with the police and public works departments making up 37% and 32% of those savings respectively. And again, some of this is due to pension obligations. We also reviewed negative fund balances, and that total has increased to $356,604.25 in negative fund balances since May of 2020. Looked at recreation income versus receipts again. As we know, the recreation center has not been open at full capacity as it has in the past due to the pandemic. We did find out some additional information about the American Rescue Act plan. Well, as I mentioned before, we are set to receive $670,000 in April or May. I don't believe that has come in yet. And that distribution will be split into 2 installments. So we'll receive $335,000 this year, and then we'll receive the remaining $335,000 12 months after we receive the first payment. Still has not been a lot of guidance provided regarding allowability of expenditures or any restrictions, but we do know that the liquidation period will go into the year 2024, and we've added a specific fund to our UAN to make sure we can account for that money when it's received. Again, our finance director reminded us that the pool levy expires at the end of 2022, and so we have some options to consider for that. He also shared a brief overview of legislation, which we will see in tonight's meeting. Then he gave us some reminders as well to review our fire and EMS staffing, looking at the fire levy, again, the pool levy, provide information to purchase public works trucks in the spring of this year, and then also provided some information regarding bond refunding on the Woodlawn Community Center. So we'll see some information about that soon. For new business, there was a couple of suggestions made for a family fun celebration where we can have our residents come out for a fun event, since people have been kind of stuck in the house over the past year due to the pandemic. We also got an update that Councilmember Brown shared a grant opportunity, and the grant application was submitted to Lowe's. The grant funding amount is $100,000. And so we are hoping that that funding will be awarded to us. And then Mayor Poole offered condolences to our tax commissioner, Charles Willis, on the loss of his mother. And I know he made comments about that earlier in the meeting. And that was it. The meeting was adjourned at 7:44 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Trabue. Appreciate that. Just one thing to point out, a special thanks to Ms. Brown again for bringing the whole thing about the Lowe's grant. And Tim was able to work with Ms. Brown and getting the information in. So again, Ms. Brown, thank you for bringing that to the village. Tim, thank you for getting that grant completed in such a real small window, but you made it. And again, we're hoping that we'll receive that money. And I believe that the purpose, Ms. Brown, if I'm not correct, was money's looking at for the caboose. Is that correct?
Yes, but I want to let everyone know that that grant opportunity was given to me by Ms. Ranson. She informed me of that, and I simply passed it on.
Okay. Well,
So
again,
shout out to Ms. Ranson.
thank you, Ms. Ransom, for that. But again, you brought it to council. So we
Yeah, I did.
wanna thank you. So thanks again for that. Again, any other questions for Kiana in finance?
I did want to clarify one thing real quick, Mayor, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And the negative fund balances, I just want to clarify that the village has eliminated $356,000 in negative fund balances.
Correct.
Just wanted to make sure that was people, when people heard that, want to make sure they know we're paying those down.
Okay. You know, that you say that, I believe I did hear the word increase. So simply, we did not increase those fund balances. We in fact got rid of them. Negative fund balances are a no. You're not supposed to have negative fund balances. So we got rid of those. We decreased those. So thank you for just clarifying that, Tim. We appreciate that.
Yep.
All right. Tim, do you have a municipal manager's report, or would you like to wrap it into your report? You went silent.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Just a couple of items on the municipal manager's report. I know that we're all trying to keep up with what's going on with the pool. You know, currently the pool, the construction company started some of the demolition. I know they've torn out some of the concrete that needs to be replaced. Again, just conversations with them. We're still set to open on time. So everything is going according to schedule so far. Also, I know Ms. Boyd had noted the Hamilton County COVID vaccination clinics that have been taking place at the Recreation Center. They're going to be back there this coming Monday. So that's May the 3rd.
Yes.
They'll have a morning clinic from 8 in the morning to 12 noon. They are accepting walk-ins now. We have changed the information on the website, but you can still go ahead and make an appointment as well. Just if you'd like to do that. But they are just trying to get everybody vaccinated and want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to do that wants to do it. Other than that, I don't believe I have anything else for the municipal manager's report.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that is good stuff about that pool being on time. So I was down there today, so it looks like, again, Tim, they're on point down there. So that's good stuff, and good to hear that the public can hear that as well. Tim, you want to go ahead and segue into your report?
Sure. As we noted in our finance committee reviews, the American Recovery Act money still hasn't come in, but again, they said that would happen sometime between April and May. So no worries on that. I did review everything that we're supposed to have in place to get the money. We have all of that, so shouldn't be anything in our way. Also I had signed up to take a training on the use of that money. So I believe that is scheduled for late this month. So I'll go through that and maybe have a little bit more information on what we can use it for, as well as some other guidance related to it. I know that the money for the fire truck litigation has come in. We'll go ahead and see that gets into the village treasury as soon as possible. We obviously have legislation ready to get the new fire truck purchased here. So all of that is also kind of going according to plan. No other items related to finance currently. The only thing I have left, obviously, are the approvals of the financial reports, which are the bank reconciliation, receipt listing, and payment listing.
Very well. Does anybody have any other questions for Tim and his report? Having none, I just need a motion, please. I need a motion to approve the bank reconciliation, the receipt listing, and payment listing, please.
We'll make a motion to approve the bank reconciliation.
Receipt listing and payment listing?
Receipt listing and payment listing.
Very well.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved, properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, thank you. All right, law director's report.
I do not have anything to report tonight, Mayor.
Very well. So it looks like she'll do her part in the legislation. I just have a couple things in my report. I do want the full council to be aware, as well as the public. Barbara Hawkins passed away. Ms. Hawkins was a long-term resident here in the village of Woodlawn, as well as a longtime educator in the Princeton City School District down at Woodlawn Elementary. So I wanted to pass that on to full council. I'm not for sure of the services. I believe they are Saturday, but I haven't been given the exact time, but I just wanted council to be aware of that. I want to do a special thanks to our service department, Tony Brown and his team for the last 2 weekends. They've been out picking up whatever we put out there on the curb. That's always one of those tasks every year, but they do it with grace, and they did a great job this year. So Tony, your team and your leadership, we thank you for that. I got a little perturbed, like, well, we got some residents that sometimes are not either seeing our messages, not getting the messages. So we've seen a lot of the stuff being put out right shy before the end of the day on Saturday. But again, Tony and his crew came back out on Monday morning and made sure that the streets were clear of that. So again, Tony, you and your team, we just thank you for the last 2 Saturdays. We thank you for that on behalf of the residents here in the village of Woodlawn.
Thank you, Mayor.
No worries. Emily, that's all I had. We want to go into legislation.
Sure.
So we need to
We have
approve
to do the mayor's report.
Yeah, Mayor's Court report.
Oh, I just missed my own report. I do need a motion to approve my mayor's court monthly statement.
Make a motion that we approve the mayor's court monthly statements.
I
Second
second.
it.
Motion been moved properly second. All ayes.
Aye.
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 Very well. Thanks. Appreciate that. Legislation.
Sure. The first item is ordinance 16, 2021, an ordinance amending appropriations for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021.
All right, I need a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance number 16, 2021.
Make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 16, 2021.
I'll second.
Motion been moved properly second under suspension. Roll call.
Sorry about that. Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Treville.
Aye.
I need a motion for passage of ordinance number 16, 2021.
Make a motion for passage of ordinance 16, 2021.
I'll second it.
Motion been moved properly second on the passage. Roll call.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter. I didn't hear. Did you say yes? I'm sorry.
Hear me? Aye.
Thank you. Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Ms. Treville.
Aye.
Very well. Thank you.
The next item is Resolution 07, 2021, a resolution authorizing the municipal manager to enter into a contract with the Public Entities Pool of Ohio liability insurance for the period of April 30th, 2021 to April 30th, 2022.
I need a motion for passage of resolution 07, 2021.
Make a motion for passage of resolution 07, 2021.
I
I'll
second
second
it.
it.
Motion been moved properly second. Roll call on the passage.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Treville.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Next item is Resolution 08, 2021, a resolution approving an increase in the total contract amount for the Shady Lane Reconstruction Project.
I need a motion for passage of resolution 08, 2021.
Make a motion for passage of resolution 08, 2021.
Second it.
Motion been moved properly second. Roll call on the passage, please.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Treville.
Aye.
Very well.
And the last item is Resolution 09, 2021, a resolution amending resolution number 06, 2021 pertaining to the purchase of a Pierce Enforcer pumper stock number 35659.
All right, I need a motion for passage of resolution 09, 2021.
Make a motion for passage of resolution 09, 2021.
I second.
Motion been moved properly second. Roll call on the passage.
Rosemary Brown,
Aye.
Derek Burkhalter,
Aye.
Esther Boyd,
Yes.
Pamela Fitzgerald,
Aye.
Robert Lawson,
Aye.
Kiana Treville.
Aye.
Well, all right. Is there any other new business for the council? I have one item.
I have one item too, Mayor.
Oh,
Question.
Go ahead, Pam.
It's in regards to the economic development.
Uh-huh.
I think we can talk about this. Trying to set up a business meeting for May. I know that our village manager is out right now. Is that something that I could work with Tim on to try to schedule? If letters need to go out to the public,
So
Who normally does that? Can
Okay.
you give me just a little bit direction so we can
Yeah.
get moving on that?
let me probably do off call with you, just so that I'm
Okay.
giving you the correct information, because what I'm thinking, there's a two-part there, in which there's a economic development kind of advisory that we don't pretty much run that piece. Sean does in his group. He's the one that
Okay.
has been reaching out here recently, talking about an upcoming meeting. But again, we'll talk about that so you'll better understand how to schedule those meetings when it comes over to the council side of economic development. So we're working
Okay.
hand in hand with them. But the meeting that is coming up that he's requesting here very soon is basically the business piece, the business side.
Right, I do
Kind of like
understand
a
that, but
roundtable.
can you, do you know, is that something that they are supposed to send out information, or is it something the village sends out information to invite the business partners?
I'll get that answer for you.
Okay,
I feel more comfortable to say that. How about that? That fair?
okay, that's great.
Okay.
I'll talk to you offline, thank you.
You got it. One thing that I did fail to realize, mention, and I'm gonna need this information if the public is hearing us, anyone who has graduated from high school, college, we would love to have those names sent.
Hey, Mom.
Oh my. We would love to have those names sent to the village by the end of May, if at all possible. So if you're a high school graduate and a college graduate, we would love to have those names sent to us. Okay. All right. If there is nothing else that comes before this council, I need a motion for adjournment.
Mayor, will you be in,
Yes. I didn't hear you, Tom.
will you be in the office tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? Third? Yes.
Wednesday.
Thank you. I'm a day behind. Yes, Tony, I will.
Okay, I just need about 10 minutes tomorrow.
No worries.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. And Monica, I will be in very early, so if you can leave the legislation in your door, I'll sign it. Thank you.
All right. Again, if there's nothing else before this council that comes before this council, I need a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion been moved, properly second. All ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Very well. Everybody have a wonderful evening and continue to be safe out there.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Good
Good night. Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Good night.